There is a challenge in the Wings of Fire fandom. Many artists have taken on this challenge, even though it has only grown more difficult over the years, especially after Arc 3 released. You already saw the title, so you hopefully should know that this is the Hybrids challenge. In this challenge, artists draw every single mix between dragon tribes that exist in Wings of Fire. I've decided to take on this challenge and draw full bodies of every single possible hybrid thus far. Each tribe will have 2 videos, and if my calculations are right, this series might take a full year to complete, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make, especially since this could be great filler content and I'm in college. The first tribe I'm drawing is obviously the SkyWings, the most basic Wings of Fire tribe. The exact hybrid that I'm drawing right now is obviously a SkyWing-SkyWing, because let's just start things off simply. While SkyWings may be simple when it comes to coloration and their overall design, the pose that I chose was far from simple, and it definitely caused me to have many struggles, especially when it comes to that neck. This is not my first time trying to actually draw this pose. I re-recorded the line art twice, because the first time around I drew it way too thin and it ended up looking weird. The second time around I drew it in a chibi style, but then I realized I wasn't recording, so I deleted everything and had to start again. Yay! So I decided to name every single hybrid which I'm doing and the non-hybrids, and so the name for this dragon is Inferno. You can obviously see that reflected in the design, as the dragon is red and has some orange and some yellow, exactly like an Inferno. I decided to make the scales climbing up the leg look a bit like flames, because you know it's an Inferno. You already know what that means. And I decided to do some color shading on the wings, which I don't normally do for SkyWings, but I think it ended up looking cool. Overall, I feel like this design was pretty good. There's nothing that I really have problems with. The back legs maybe look a bit weird, but it's a harsh pose. I mean, just give me credit for not drawing a dragon statically standing there. I'm not the best at doing complex things. And so here's the final result for Inferno, and I hope you like it. The second dragon I decided to draw today is a SandWing-SkyWing hybrid. I don't know why I had to specify SkyWing. It's almost like all the dragons in this video are SkyWings. I am also not using a script for this because this is supposed to be an easy video, and using a script requires using my brain, which I do not want to do after taking a chemistry class this semester. Anyways, the pose was rather simple because I tortured myself in the last one and I didn't feel like doing 2 hard poses in a row. When it comes to tribal features, I feel like this dragon resembles both tribes a decent amount. I'm pretty bad at giving dragons tribal features, actually. I've been trying to work on that, but my MudWings and SeaWings are definitely the ones I've had most success on. I gave this dragon the SandWing scale pattern when it comes to the legs, and the mane is also SandWing inspired, but there's some SkyWing features there. So I think I did decent in balancing that. When it comes to the colors, it's like a Peril mixed with Sunny. I'm not too satisfied on it, but I'm not too sure what else I should have done. So I'm just going to stick with that, and I don't think I'm going to make any alterations in post on the dragon's colors. And here's the final result for Drought. The next dragon is a SeaWing-SkyWing dragon, and their name is a lobster because it's a thing that lives in the sea and it is red. As I said before, I feel like the dragons that I'm able to draw with the most reflective body types, like diverse or more accurate to book type, are the SeaWings and MudWings. I'm decent at giving them chunky bodies. You're not going to see as chunky on this dragon because they're of course a SkyWing hybrid, and because the way I'm doing this is the dragon tribes which name is in the video title is the one that the mother is from. The mother gives most of her genes to the child in Wings of Fire lore. I'm not sure exactly how this has happened. I guess dragons just have a very, very big X chromosome, but I don't know. It's not like I'm in college for biology or anything, but 2E isn't either, and I really hate doing genetic stuff as well. Just look at all my wolf designs, so I'm gonna cut her some slack on that. When it comes to colors for lobster, I think I did decently well. I might alter it in post to be a bit more red or a bit more purple. As you can see in this video, I changed the colors from blue to purple in a little bit, and I might change them back again, and I might change them back again after that. It's such a unique hybrid considering that SkyWings are red and SeaWings are blue, and I'm excited that I'll be doing a SkyWing-SeaWing hybrid again in the SeaWing video. And here's what lobster looks like. I hope you like whatever I decided on for the final result. Next up is probably my least favorite one of the batch, Smoky Quartz. Smoky Quartz is a MudWing SkyWing hybrid. You can tell that she's a MudWing because she's the tusks that I give MudWings because I find it really cute. She's a somewhat MudWing body type. I mean, she's a bit of a thicker neck than I've been giving the other dragons, and a thicker stomach as well, and a thicker tail. But when it comes to the wings and the skinniness of the limbs, you can definitely tell that she is SkyWing ancestry. Overall, I just don't like this one as much as the other ones. I fiddled around with the color palette a decent amount. She's a plain brown, but there are some red undertones from the SkyWing side. The design of scales is definitely more MudWing inspired than SkyWing inspired. As you can see, I gave her a MudWing mask instead of a SkyWing mask. I don't know what it's, they're dragons, they made up terms, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone give a name for the upper part of the facial scales. The design is pretty boring, I have to say. I tried to fix it by giving her some jewelry, that silver, just to, complement or her design, but I don't really think it worked. I might go back and give her stripes in post, in which case the design will look drastically different than what you're seeing right here. And here's the finished dragon design. I have no clue how it's gonna look as of speaking right now. Now it is time for the final dragon in this batch, a SkyWing-RainWing hybrid named Canopy. I actually had to go back and search up what her name was because unlike the other dragons, her name didn't really come into my mind very much when I was designing her, which you can definitely tell as we get closer to the coloring section. RainWing hybrids are honestly a nightmare to do because RainWings can change their scale color. There's a lot more subtle things that you have to do to make sure that people know that they're a hybrid with another tribe. With tribes that look similar to RainWings, it's just difficult to make sure that their hybrid side shows through unless you're literally making them the same scale color, which I didn't do for this. Instead of making her red, I decided to make her more of a pinkish color, and if it wasn't for me telling you that she was a SkyWing hybrid, you would probably assume that this was just a regular RainWing, so I think I sort of failed on that front. Also, I'm just gonna put this here, I have no clue what I'm doing with any of the designs in this video, so if you have any idea of what I should do with them, comment down below. Maybe a draw for adopt thing, or you draw one of my characters and I send them to you over Toy House. I don't know, just comment your ideas for that down below. And this is the final design for Canopy. And now let's see all the final designs for the other dragons I drew in this video. Which one is your favorite? Comment down below. And what type of hybrids are you excited to see in future videos? Comment that too. If you like Wings of Fire, Warrior Cats, or really just any animal fiction, then feel free to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Peace, Rogan out.